Picture this. You're scrolling through Instagram, seeing countless posts about that perfect city where everyone's moving. The lifestyle looks amazing, the opportunities seem endless, and you start thinking maybe it's time for a change. But what if I told you that 10 of the most popular destination cities right now are actually traps waiting to drain your wallet and crush your dreams? Today, we're exposing the harsh reality behind the glossy social media posts and travel blogs. These cities might look perfect online, but the people actually living there are telling a very different story. Let's start with Austin, Texas, the city that somehow convinced the world it's the next Silicon Valley. Everyone's talking about the tech boom, the no state income tax, and that famous slogan, "Keep Austin weird." Sounds incredible, right? Well, here's what they don't tell you in those glowing relocation articles. Austin's housing market has completely lost its mind. We're talking about a median home price that's jumped over 60% in just 5 years. Rental prices are through the roof, and finding anything decent under $2,000 a month is like hunting for unicorns. The tech boom everyone raves about. It's created a two-tier economy where if you're not working for one of the major tech companies, you're basically priced out of your own city. But the housing crisis is just the beginning. Austin's infrastructure is crumbling under the weight of all these new residents. The city's famous traffic jams now rival Los Angeles, and the public transportation system is a joke. Interstate 35 through Austin is regularly ranked as one of the worst highways in America. You'll spend more time sitting in traffic than actually enjoying that Austin lifestyle everyone talks about. And here's something that might shock you. Austin's crime rate has been climbing steadily. Property crimes are up significantly, and certain neighborhoods that used to be safe are now experiencing regular break-ins and theft. The city's rapid growth has outpaced its ability to maintain adequate police coverage, leaving many residents feeling unsafe in areas that were once considered prime real estate. Now let's jet over to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, the gleaming metropolis that's become synonymous with luxury and success. Those Instagram photos of infinity pools overlooking the city skyline are absolutely mesmerizing. But living in Dubai is a completely different reality than visiting for a week. Dubai's legal system is incredibly strict, and many expats find themselves in serious trouble over things that would be minor infractions back home. Public displays of affection can get you arrested. Drinking alcohol outside designated areas is illegal. Even seemingly innocent social media posts can land you in jail if they're deemed offensive to local culture or government. The stories of expats facing legal consequences for minor missteps are genuinely terrifying. The work culture in Dubai is absolutely brutal. The concept of work-life balance doesn't exist for most people. 60 to 70-hour work weeks are standard, and the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle while earning enough to save money is crushing. Many expats find themselves trapped in a cycle where they're working constantly just to afford the high cost of living, with no time to enjoy the luxury lifestyle they moved there for. And let's talk about that heat. Dubai's summer temperatures regularly exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit, with humidity levels that make it feel even hotter. You literally cannot spend time outdoors for several months of the year. The city becomes a series of air-conditioned bubbles connected by air-conditioned cars. The environmental impact of keeping an entire city cool in the desert is staggering, and the electricity bills reflect that reality. San Francisco, California continues to attract people with its tech industry reputation and progressive image. But the city is facing a crisis that goes far beyond just expensive housing. We're talking about a place where a basic one-bedroom apartment costs more than most people's annual salary in other parts of the country. The homeless crisis in San Francisco has reached epidemic proportions. Entire neighborhoods are essentially uninhabitable due to tent encampments, human waste on sidewalks, and open drug use. The city spends over $1 billion annually on homelessness programs, yet the problem continues to worsen. Walking through downtown San Francisco feels more like navigating a post-apocalyptic movie set than exploring a world-class city. But here's what's really heartbreaking. Even people earning six-figure salaries are struggling to make ends meet. Software engineers living in their cars because they can't afford rent. Families moving away because they can't afford to raise children there. The tech industry that built San Francisco's reputation is now actively destroying the city's livability for everyone who doesn't work in tech. The city's public services are overwhelmed and underfunded. The transportation system is unreliable and often dangerous. Basic city maintenance is neglected while millions are spent on failed programs. Many long-time residents describe feeling like strangers in their own city, watching their neighborhoods transform into playgrounds for the ultra-wealthy, while essential workers are forced to commute hours from distant suburbs. Tulum, Mexico has become the poster child for the digital nomad lifestyle. Those pristine beaches, ancient ruins, and bohemian vibe look absolutely perfect on social media. But scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a destination that's being destroyed by its own popularity. The crime situation in Tulum has deteriorated rapidly. Drug-related violence has increased dramatically, with several high-profile incidents involving tourists. The local police force is understaffed and often corrupt, leaving residents and visitors vulnerable. Many expats who moved there for the peaceful beach lifestyle are now living in constant fear. Water scarcity is becoming a serious problem. The region's cenotes and underground river systems are being contaminated by overdevelopment and poor waste management. Many hotels and residential developments are drilling illegal wells, causing saltwater intrusion that's making the drinking water supply unsafe. During dry seasons, entire neighborhoods go without running water for days at a time. The infrastructure simply cannot handle the influx of tourists and digital nomads. The roads are in terrible condition, the electrical grid is unreliable, and internet connectivity is often too poor for remote work. Many digital nomads find themselves unable to actually work digitally, defeating the entire purpose of their relocation. Nashville, Tennessee marketed itself as the next Austin, and people believed it. The music scene, lower cost of living, and southern charm attracted waves of new residents. But Nashville's transformation has been anything but smooth. The city's housing market has exploded beyond reason. Average home prices have doubled in just 7 years, making Nashville one of the least affordable cities in the South. The legendary music venues that gave Nashville its identity are being bulldozed for luxury condos that longtime residents can't afford. The city is literally destroying its own culture in the name of development. The tourism industry has overwhelmed Nashville's infrastructure. Broadway has become a chaotic party destination that's more like a theme park than a legitimate music scene. The noise levels in downtown Nashville are unbearable for residents, and the city has struggled to balance its music heritage with quality of life concerns. Traffic congestion has become a nightmare. Nashville's highway system was never designed for its current population, and the city has been slow to invest in public transportation. Commute times have tripled in many areas, and the lack of reliable public transit means everyone needs a car to survive. Lisbon, Portugal, seemed like the perfect European destination for expats seeking affordable living and excellent quality of life. The Golden Visa program and remote work opportunities attracted thousands of digital nomads and retirees. But this influx has created serious problems for the city. Local residents are being priced out of their own neighborhoods. Rental prices have skyrocketed as property owners convert long-term rentals into short-term vacation rentals for tourists. Entire neighborhoods have lost their local character, becoming sterile tourist zones where no Portuguese families can afford to live. The city's infrastructure is straining under the pressure. Public transportation is overcrowded, healthcare services are overwhelmed, and the housing shortage has become critical. Many Portuguese families are leaving Lisbon because they can no longer afford to live in the city where they grew up. The backlash against expats is growing. Local protests against gentrification have become common, and there's increasing resentment toward foreigners who are seen as contributing to the housing crisis. Many expats report feeling unwelcome and experiencing discrimination in their daily lives. Miami, Florida, markets itself as an international paradise with beautiful beaches, year-round sunshine, and a vibrant cultural scene. The reality is far more complicated and expensive than the marketing suggests. Traffic in Miami is absolutely brutal. The city's highway system is constantly congested, and public transportation is limited and unreliable. What should be a 20-minute drive regularly takes over an hour, and the stress of daily commuting is crushing residents' quality of life. Climate change is making Miami increasingly unlivable. Sea level rise is causing regular flooding in many neighborhoods, and the city's drainage systems are inadequate. Hurricane season brings genuine terror, with each storm potentially causing billions in damage and leaving residents without power for weeks. The cost of living has exploded beyond what most people can afford. Housing costs have increased faster than almost anywhere else in the country. and basic necessities like groceries and utilities are significantly more expensive than the national average. Many residents are working multiple jobs just to afford basic living expenses. Bali, Indonesia, has become the ultimate digital nomad destination, but the reality of living there long-term is far from the Instagram paradise it appears to be. The visa situation is a constant source of stress and expense. Indonesia's visa policies for long-term visitors are complex and frequently changing, requiring expensive visa runs and creating legal uncertainty. Many digital nomads find themselves spending thousands of dollars annually just to maintain legal residency. The environmental problems are severe. Bali's waste management system is completely overwhelmed, with trash washing up on beaches and polluting the water supply. The island's infrastructure cannot handle the volume of tourists and expats, leading to regular power outages and water shortages. The cultural disconnect is significant. Many expats live in bubbles completely separate from local Indonesian culture, contributing to gentrification and cultural erosion. The growing resentment from locals toward foreign residents is creating social tensions that make long-term living uncomfortable. Phoenix, Arizona attracted people with its desert lifestyle and relatively affordable housing, but climate change is making the city increasingly uninhabitable. The summer heat in Phoenix is becoming genuinely dangerous. Temperatures regularly exceed 115 degrees Fahrenheit, and the city experiences weeks where the temperature never drops below 90 degrees, even at night. The human body cannot adapt to these extreme conditions, and heat-related deaths are increasing annually. Water scarcity is a looming crisis. The Colorado River system that supplies Phoenix's water is at critically low levels, and the city's rapid growth is unsustainable given the limited water resources. Many experts predict that Phoenix will face severe water restrictions within the next decade. The cost of living is rising rapidly as climate refugees from other parts of the country move to Arizona. Housing prices have increased dramatically, and the state's infrastructure is struggling to accommodate the population growth. Finally, Barcelona, Spain, seemed like the perfect European city with its Mediterranean climate, rich culture, and relatively affordable living costs. But the city is experiencing a severe backlash against tourism and foreign residents. Tourist fatigue has reached a breaking point. Local residents regularly protest against the tourism industry. Petty crime, particularly pickpocketing and theft, is rampant in tourist areas. The city's police force is overwhelmed, and many residents and visitors feel unsafe in areas that were once considered completely secure. The housing market has become impossible for locals. Young Spanish professionals are leaving Barcelona because they cannot afford to live there, and the city is losing its authentic character as neighborhoods become playgrounds for wealthy tourists and expats. Here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. These cities became popular for legitimate reasons, but their popularity has destroyed the very qualities that made them attractive in the first place. The influx of new residents and tourists has created housing crises, infrastructure problems, and social tensions that make daily life miserable for everyone involved. Before you pack your bags and move to any of these supposedly perfect destinations, do your homework. Talk to people who actually live there, not just visit. Consider the long-term costs, both financial and personal. And remember that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's just more expensive grass that you can't afford to maintain. What do you think? Have you experienced any of these cities firsthand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if this video saved you from making a costly mistake, hit that subscribe button for more honest takes on popular destinations. Your future self will thank you for doing the research before making the move.